Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Indiana State Dynasty here on NCAA 10. Our first couple of weeks of non-conference action have been nothing short of absolutely stellar. We come into conference play with a 10-2 record, and we're looking to continue to assert our dominance in the Missouri Valley. We have our first full month of conference action coming our way shortly, and I am, for one, extremely excited about this game that we have going on. Should be a nice battle between two up-tempo teams to get us started here in conference action. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. And with that being said, I am ready to jump right into it. But if you guys are excited for this thing, man, I need you guys to go ahead and do a couple of things. Hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive right into it now to jump into this battle against Illinois State. Let's see what we got. Alright guys, so a little bit of a fourth wall break here. So originally my plan was to actually play this game. The problem is NCAA 10 is a little bit known to have some freezing issues. I did try to play this game multiple times, and it did freeze at various points. I don't know what it is about Illinois State, but it was what it was. So I said piss on it, ended up simulating the game anyways. We did end up winning. It did end up being a close game though, which is a shame because, listen, both of the times that I played, they were very competitive and they were fun games to watch. So it is what it is, but we do at least get the dub here. So coming off of our win against Illinois State, we did end up playing Evansville a couple of days later. And sure enough, a couple of days later, listen, Evansville has given us a little bit of a tough time here. But it seems like in the second half, we are poised to go ahead and pull away. This was a little bit too close for comfort, but do get it done at the end of the day, and we were led by Scott Smalls because of it. Scott Smalls played big in this one. He ends up scoring 39 in this game. We also shoot 17 for 26 as a team from the 3-point line. We simply could not miss. So we do end up starting 2-0 in conference play, and that allows us a chance to at least rest for a few days. But then we come across our first back-to-back of the season. Our first game of this back-to-back, we took on the Bradley Braves, and all credit to the Bradley Braves, man. They are giving us everything that we could handle. We actually are in danger of losing this game, and it's actually not looking too good for your Indiana State Sycamores. And sure enough, we actually put up a little bit of a disappointing performance. Allison Ferrant and Scott Smalls did play all 40 minutes of this game, and just couldn't get it done here today. We did not get out rebounded, but they did have more passes, and they did shoot a higher percentage from the field than what we actually did. So even though Scott Smalls did once again have more than 20 points in this game, it simply was not enough, and we lose our first game of conference play. But then in the very next day, we did not have much time to relax at all because we gotta go play against Creighton the very next day. No, I'm not joking, you guys. Gotta go back to back like a Drake song. So that's always a tough pill to swallow. We'll see how our guys handle going on this particular back-to-back. And so far, they're responding a lot better in that second game, but it's still close. It is still very close going into the final minutes. And normally, I would try to jump in here, but I tried to do this once, and it ended up freezing as well here, which is tough to see. We drop yet another game against Creighton, and Creighton is going to hand us, for the very first time, our second consecutive loss. These are tough losses to take, even though we are indeed having 4 separate guys scoring in double digits. And after losing both of our games back to back, well, our team just seems to enter a little bit of a funk for ourselves. So over the next couple of weeks, we struggle to be competitive in some of these games. We lose to Illinois State by 7. We lose by 8.7 points to Missouri State. We do beat Southern Illinois and Drake, but then taking on Creighton the second time, that first Creighton game on the road was a lot closer. When we tried to play them at home, though, it was a different story. We get blown out of the building. So all of a sudden, a team that I really thought was going to get ranked at some point this year with the way that our season starts, well, all of a sudden, that's really not the case anymore. And that just means that we're now sitting in kind of in this bottom half of the conference right now, just 4-5 to our name. We're certainly not the worst team in this conference, not by any stretch of the imagination. That's probably going to go to your Drakes and your Evansvilles of the world, but I was really hoping that we could play this month of January just a little bit better now. One other caveat that we had during the times that we were struggling through the month of January was that, hey, we had a chance to upgrade our facilities. We had an alumni challenge that was issued to our program yet again, and for our TV game against Creighton, if we were able to beat Creighton on our home floor, we would have been able to get a facility upgrade. But because you guys remember, we lost by like 20 plus, we don't get that facility upgrade. So we're going to have to wait until a little bit later down the line before we get a second chance to do exactly that. It's a tough look for us, but it just means that our next game becomes that much more critical. And that just means this game against Northern Iowa just becomes a little bit more critical for us. We do get to return to our home floor, which is something that I'm pretty happy about. Northern Iowa, they like to play a similar brand of basketball that we do. There might be a little bit more balance, and we should be pretty even. So really hope that we can come out here, finish this month of January strong, and finish this episode out with a win here in Rivalry Week. Let's see if we can get it done here. Alright, boys, and welcome to the McLeod Center, where Northern Iowa plays its college basketball, as we are embroiled in this Rivalry Week presentation, as the starting lineups for both teams are getting ready to be displayed. Indiana State, we're coming in on a little bit of a funk, man, so let's try and get ourselves right here. Should be a winnable game, but Northern Iowa, especially in a Rivalry Week type deal, not an easy environment to come and win in, as we're going to tip things off and officially get underway some Indiana State basketball, as we try to get ourselves back to 500 in the Missouri Valley Conference. As we'll go ahead and try to get the steal right away. Oh, we almost got it. But Northern Iowa will still retain possession, but still only 15 seconds on the shot clock. No good. Phillips is going to try to push it the other way for the first points of the game. And now it's our turn to have the ball for the very first time, as we're going to dump it back inside to Gentry. Gentry gets double teamed, finds Ken Harris. Ken Harris can't make it, but Phillips is there for the cleanup. And that's how we get our very first points of the game. So with that being said, let's see if we can continue to go to work. That's a steal by Scott Smalls. He's looking to go coast to coast. He's blocked, but he's got some help along the way, as we're able to get that one to go after all. How about that? Really going to work here, as we have an early 5-0 lead. Northern Iowa still looking for their first points of the game, and strokes that one from deep. So Northern Iowa able to get it going with the free ball, and that free ball is going effectively here in the early going. Northern Iowa making their first 2 frees. They haven't been able to do anything on the inside, though, and that's not going to change anytime soon, as Phillips was on top of it with Gentry taking advantage of the mismatch, as Ty Mills just simply did not have the speed. And so we're able to convert the and one as well that came with it. So got us a very competitive game in spite of all that, as Northern Iowa actually has a chance to tie here, but they do not make it. As now Varant looks to attack with the transition free and gets it to go. Alistar Varant loves those transition free opportunities, And we might get another one here, as we might draw another steal. We do. Ken Harris all the way. Yes. Ken Harris off to a good start offensively, having 7 of our team's first 15 points. He's been really feeling himself, usually more of a distributor and a facilitator. But at the same time, he knows how to score when called upon. As we have some dangerous scorers just sprinkled throughout this team. As Phillips is going to cut it inside to just incredible. And that is an incredible dunk by the junior center. As now the lead expands to an 8-point game. 30-22 is your score. Looking for the three-pointer. No good. Out was starting for Rant. Pushing in transition to Tiber. Gian. Good. And for the first time today, we got ourselves a double-digit lead and a chance to extend it even further. Gentry in transition. Can't get it to go the first time around, but on that second time, he's able to get it to go. Would just appreciate if Gentry could just dunk the basketball. I know he's got the hops for it. Very surprised that he just decided for the bunny layup instead. But hey, you know what? 2 points is 2 points. Guess I can't complain all that much, as that's no good initially, but the offensive rebound also doesn't go in. Was just hanging on that rim for a hot minute, but JoJo Thompson's able to find Scott Smalls. He's open for a mid-ranger danger. Doesn't make it, but just incredible is able to lay it back up. So the lead extends to a 13-point game, as Northern Iowa trying desperately to get back into this game, as the Panthers looking for some offense on the inside. That was one of their keys to this game. And they go inside and lays it down. Houston, we don't have a problem. He's got 7 for the Panthers. 42-29 now is your score, as Harris swings the ball around to Phillips. Phillips looking to attack in the paint. Wants to double team, but leaves Alistar Varant open. We just have so many 3-point shooters all around the floor, so when you double team us like that, that's a problem. And sure enough, we take a 48-32 lead into the halftime locker room. One of the big reasons why we're leading, fast break point differential. And also, doesn't hurt that we're making our threes as well. We're shooting 45% from deep in the first half. Let's see if we can keep it up in the second half, though. We have an impressive lead, but it doesn't matter if we don't finish it. Oh my goodness. John Phillips, that's wild. Alright, so I didn't even mean to do that. I was trying to click another button. But hey, sometimes it's just better to be lucky than it is to be good. Oh my goodness, that was nasty. But it seems like we might need to make some adjustments on offense, because those entry passes into the paint, they have been tightened up. So gonna have to make some adjustments on that for sure, as we almost got the steal there. But Scott Smalls duplicates the problem by drawing a foul upon himself. He has not... We've been playing very well today. Scott Smalls is not one of the reasons why we're playing well. He's actually been struggling through this game. Ken Harris not helping the cause either. He draws his first foul of the game. As Smalls looking to just move it around, trying not to be as aggressive. Gentry able to get some space in the paint, and is able to operate very smoothly. A nice little jump hook to make this a 14-point game. They need this free in the worst way, and they'll get it. 3-pointer is good. It's back down to a 12-point lead. The Panthers have a chance to cut the single digits, but we draw for steal. We find Phillips, and he lays it down. Another big-time dunk for the senior high flyer. And now we're just really rubbing it in to the faces of our rival right now. 67-50 being your score, as the Panthers desperately trying to just find anything offensively. That is a real crafty move. They're going to need more of those crafty moves if they're going to even make this a game, let alone trying to win it, as that will certainly help, as Scott Smalls is drawn for another foul. That's his 4th, so Scott Smalls is going to go to a bench for quite some time. Thankfully, we got some pretty solid depth on this team. Just incredible being one of those depth guys. He'll probably be one that will be slotted into our starting lineup next season. As Credible almost draws another steal there, just couldn't get the animation that we need. So the Panther swinging around instead. Nice ball movement. Able to find the open man for the jumper. However, 73-60 lead for your Indiana State Sycamores. We're now just trying to run some motion offense as we're just trying to close this game out as much as we can. First time we run it in a little bit, it actually works out for us as Alistar Varant is able to draw a foul there. And then a few possessions later, just trying to bring it back out. We have this huge lead right now. Ken Harris gets open for a free and he nails it. Foot was on the line, so it actually only counts as a 2. But that being said, really loving what we're doing with this motion offense. Really wanted to get it to JoJo Thompson, but just didn't hit the right button. Thankfully, Butner is just smooky smooth with it, man. Silky smooth, man. John Phillips is going to be named player of the game, and needless to say, we handle our business against Northern Iowa in rivalry week. And man, did we need that in the absolute worst way. Man, we really needed that win because we were just in a funk all of January. We end up putting 87 on our rivals. So a tremendous performance for Indiana State to finish out the month of January. We end up having 4 separate guys in double figures. Chris Gentry, John Phillips, Alistar Varant, who was hot from 3, and then also Ken Harris all had double digits. So almost all of our starters had double-digit points tonight. The only exception was Scott Smalls. Scott Smalls did struggle to score the basketball, and he was in foul trouble as well. Had 4 personal fouls in the game. It was just genuinely not a very good game for this young man right there. However, what I do like to see is that our bench scoring was better. JoJo Thompson had a few points. Lame Tybergian got a few points. But the biggest impact off the bench was just incredible. With 17 minutes of action, was able to get 10 points in the game. Not to mention, he was nice impact as well, having 5 rebounds as well. In terms of other guys that ended up having rebounds, we actually had one person with double-digit rebounds today, and that was John Phillips, who had 11 total rebounds. That did lead the entire team. Chris Gentry, the one who starts at center for us, ironically, had the most assists, had 6 assists on the day. John Phillips did end up having 5. And so those are the most that these two had among all Indiana State players in this game. A lot of double teams happening in that post, and we made them pay for it every single time they do exactly that. Now, with that said, we were able to technically move ourselves into 5th place in our conference. We have the same record as Northern Iowa, or at least the same winning percentage. I would venture to say that we should be ahead of them because we do have that tiebreaker. Let's be honest with ourselves. Next episode, we're going to try to continue to climb our way up, as next episode, we will have the final week, or not the final week, but the final month of the regular season. And then right around the corner, we're going to have conference championships. So it's going to be a very quick turnaround. It's going to get real extremely fast. Champions tend to be made in February and most importantly in March. So hope you guys are excited for the next episode. Gonna try to get multiple games in for the month of February. If the game does not want to freeze on me, I am really excited about it either way, and I hope you guys are excited about it as well. If you are, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Smack that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you have to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. Hope you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.